One, two, three, four. On this week's weekly iZoo School Rant, let's discuss cold-blooded. Scientists call snakes ectothermic. That's the big fancy term for cold-blooded. So that basically means that whatever the temperature outside, or the room temperature, the ambient temperature, that a snake is, let's say, for example, Burmese pythons. Their body temperature mirrors, or is very, very similar to the ambient temperature around them. So, say for instance, like right now it's 10 a.m. here in Sumter County, Florida, beautiful sunny Florida. It's about 52 degrees. In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, it's currently 25 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 27, so I'm not exactly sure how that. No, the low today is supposed to be 27. In Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas, which are like right across the river from each other, it's 25 degrees. The French Quarter, Mardi Gras is coming up pretty soon, 50 degrees. So it's about the same as it is here right in Central Florida. The San Diego Zoo in sunny Southern California, outside, not in the Herpetarium, by the hot dog shack, it's 46 degrees. So much for that sunny California thing. So basically, we're looking at all the way from Central Florida, we're not going to talk about the Keys, all the way up to Gettysburg, which is southern Pennsylvania, all the way over to southern California, for a range of, what's the high here? A range of 25 degrees to 52 balmy degrees here in Central Florida. So if I'm a cold-blooded Burmese python, and my body temperature mirrors the ambient temperature around me, then I'm toasty 25 degrees and outside Kansas City, Missouri, in Gettysburg on the battlefield, and I'm probably touring 25 degrees. In balmy sunny San Diego, where I'm picking up a hot dog at the San Diego Zoo, I'm 46 degrees, and in beautiful Central Florida, I'm 52 degrees. Now, ectothermic basically means that my body temperature is cold-blooded and I mirror the ambient temperature. That also means that my metabolism, basically, how fast, assuming you don't have like those really hot 5-hour energy drinks, then probably your metabolism, if you're a Burmese python when you're 52 degrees, is not real fast. So even the slowest herper might be able to catch a Burmese python in midair at 52 degrees. Certainly, the normal Burmese python can't add 2 plus 2 when it's 52 degrees outside. So that's the other thing about cold-blooded. You're supposed to not be as intelligent when you're cold-blooded. So now, according to a study done by the U.S. Geological Survey by some really nice researchers here, we're not going to say their names because we don't want them to get hassled, because they're obviously not cold-blooded, they're warm-blooded, because they can do more than 2 plus 2. In fact, these guys and ladies are pretty darn sharp. According to them, the average Burmese python in the United States of America could successfully live and reproduce in an area that is a heck of a lot more restrictive than what we just said. They don't make it outside very well when it's 52 degrees. And they certainly don't survive when it's 25 degrees. But in the wisdom of the animal activists, who now are more important and smarter than scientists, and those people out there that have their other agendas, including politicians, and of course we all know they're cold-blooded. The Burmese python now is illegal in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and San Diego, and oh, let me see on this map now. They couldn't make it in. Now, where is this? It's somewhere out in the desert Southwest. These guys, these nice people, not guys, ladies and gentlemen, at the U.S. Geological Survey think that it would probably be too hot for them in some places out in the desert Southwest. Looks like this is New Mexico and Arizona, which they're probably right. Ambient temperature, you know, it's 120 degrees outside. It's probably too hot for them. Now, that doesn't mean they couldn't crawl into a cave like the Gila monsters and the other cold-blooded animals that live in those areas. And probably could survive, come out at night, eat some desert rats, that kind of stuff. So they could probably make it there. But they certainly couldn't live outside and reproduce in Gettysburg, Florida, or Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Actually, it's real questionable that they could reproduce and live right here in sunny 52 degrees Sumter County, Florida. The Keys, yeah, maybe. Except last year we had one of those Al Gore winters, and it was freezing in Miami. Now, cold-blooded means when you're stuck inside the Frigidaire freezer and the ice cubes freeze, you freeze. You don't generate your own temperature. So even a couple nights in 32 degree or below freezing ice cube weather in Miami, Florida, if you're a Burmese python, you're pretty much a pina colada. So, without the good stuff. So, in the infinite wisdom of our politicians and those people that are so concerned about the welfare of animals, now Burmese pythons cannot be kept by private owners who, I'm assuming, because they're responsible animal owners that are not cold-blooded, would keep their Burmese pythons inside their houses where it's probably, 70, 72 degrees. Yeah, that's a pretty cool temperature. Well, actually, no, it's a pretty warm temperature. So, cold-blooded. 2 plus 2, a snake that's too cold can't live 2 plus 2. These nice people, they're not cold-blooded, they're warm-blooded. So maybe it shouldn't be cold-blooded to describe the people that think Burmese pythons can't exist or can exist throughout a third of the United States. Maybe it should be cold-witted. That's the rant for this week. Remember, the more freedoms you lose, the less freedoms you have.